Hello, everybody. This is a surprise pop-up video for our dowsing rods for current events. Hello, Annie Bear and Liz Reeves. Great to see you guys. And in the middle of the day. How unusual is that for me? I hope it's okay. I hope a few people will be able to join us today. Yes, I love the dowsing rods too. And I've got some of your questions already, Annie Bear. You have such good ones. Liz Reeves, if you have any, I'm happy to take them too. I have a whole list of questions here too, and I can see that some of our questions are already overlapping a little bit, Annie Bear. So go ahead and pop those in if you have any questions. And hi, Gina Halleck. How are you? So good to see you. Middle of the day, at least middle of my day. It's 1 o'clock. I thought I would do it a little early because there's a chance that Allie of Heart Centered Tarot is, or Heart Centered, yes, her, oh, no, wrong. Heart and Soul Connected, sorry, wrong one, is coming through town, and I may buzz across town and meet her really quickly. So I wanted to be ready and wanted to get it out of the way. Anyway, we're going to be doing some dowsing rods. We love our dowsing rods. We're going to ask some current events questions, and I have a whole list here, and I will take your questions too. What I might ask you to do, guys, is to hold off for a minute because I missed some of them while I'm reading my questions, which are over here. So I want to make sure that I can catch them all. So perhaps when I say, then I'll have you guys start posting them. That's okay. Well, I got yours, Liz. Even I do have a few starred already. Oh, interesting. Yeah. You got to meet Allie and Keith. Yeah, aren't you in the Seattle area, Annie Bear? Because that's where she lives. I think they're headed back home, but they're trying to blast through Denver and get all the way to Zion National Park tonight. So anyway, I hope she doesn't mind me telling everybody that. But I think people know she's on the road. She's been posting videos about that. And before we get started, we just have a couple of us here, just three lonely folks. Maybe this middle of the day time doesn't work for a lot of people, but I heard early this morning that Carolyn Booker passed away. Carolyn Booker and her husband used to join the Dream Crew, I believe, and some others, but she passed away. Oh, glass animals. Oh, are they at Red Rocks, Liz? I love them. I think that's my son's favorite band. Wonder if he's aware. Hi, Namira. Good to see you. And yes, very, very sad for Peter. Apparently, she was sick. I didn't know this, and I'll be honest, I don't know Carolyn very well, although I've seen her on many shows, but I've never met her online. Oh, they're all the way down the Springs. Are you going, Liz? That's a bit of a drive. Yeah. Hi, Alex H. Good to see you all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started as people are joining us. But let me do a quick introduction if anyone's new here. My name is Kelly Scarborough. I also go by the Mystic Next Door. And I do readings several times a week. I do a weekly tarot scope. Usually I'm testing either Sunday or Mondays. Lately it's been Monday. I also do usually bi-weekly, but maybe more often now that I'm more free in my schedule, maybe weekly dowsing rod sessions, which is what we're doing here today. And on Friday or Saturday night, depending on what my schedule looks like, I always do live personal readings. So this is not time for personal readings. So thank you so much for holding those questions today. Um, I will ask everybody in a moment, except I see your question, um, to hold your questions for just a minute um, while I get through my list, and then we'll open the floodgates because otherwise I'll miss your questions. Okay. Oh, Amanda, yes, you're on your about to go on your lunch break. Noontime entertainment. Yes. Amanda, you too are Seattle area, right? We have a few Seattleites here. So sad. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Annie Bear. I have starred the questions that you've put in, but now I'm afraid I'm going to miss them. So let's go ahead and get started and I'll demonstrate how I do um, my dowsing rods. So I ask my guides and angels, if you're with me and you're ready to answer questions, please cross. Well, there we go. They started to cross before I even uh, answered. Okay, or questioned, got the question out. Okay. Um, you can see, sorry, you can see now I'm in my, I've changed cameras and it's a broader view and you see the full guest bed. All right. I'm going to ask my guides and angels to go ahead and point in the direction of your energy. They always do this. They go right over my right shoulder. Kind of think they're pointing at me. So anyway, hi Mary, how are you? I'll start your question, but try to hold your questions a little for a few minutes while I get through my list. And here we go. So you see, when I say, please show me a yes, they cross like this. They seem like they're willing to talk today. And please show me a no. There's my no. So yours may be different if you have dowsing rods. That's the way mine work. They're giving me a side hug. I like that, Liz. Okay, I have a question right off the bat. I want to ask about. There was news yesterday, I think a press conference by Sean Duffy, who is now running both NASA and transportation, even though his bona fides are that he was on MTV, The Real World, and then he became a Fox News, you know, opinion person. So anyway, now he's running both NASA and transportation. So naturally, he gave a press conference yesterday or the day before saying that they're planning on putting nuclear weapons on the moon or a nuclear reactor on the moon. What? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? All right. Is this, would this be for a weapon? Is the nuclear reactor for weaponry? Oh, what? It hesitated. Yeah, look it up, Annie Bear. He really did. He really did. Okay. Really? Okay. So they're saying it's a fueling station to get to Mars. Is it a fueling station to get to Mars? Nope. Okay. Are they trying to claim the moon? Is Donald Trump trying to claim the moon for his own to beat China? Yes. He's trying to claim the moon, guys. You know what? Not I wish I could be surprised by that. Yes, it is disgusting. Okay. Are they trying oh, here we go. Oh, is Musk involved with this? Is Musk involved with this? There we go. Yes. I don't really know where Musk stands these days. Gina says he wants a golf course on the moon. I gotta put that up. That's hilarious. Oh my lord. Okay. Hi, Lynn LeGlaire. Nice to see everybody in the middle of the day. Love it. Okay. Um, Okay. I also had a question about he was walking on the roof of the White House yesterday, so and talking about speculate that he's trying to put nukes on the roof of the White House. Is he trying to put nukes on the White House? No. No. Okay. Was that real or was it just okay, was that a real walk across the roof to plan? No. Was it a this was my real question. Was it a distraction from the photo of Trump and Melania at Epstein's house? That's a yes. Yeah, Liz said he was trying to distract, right? Um, Annie Bear says, on the corner of crazy and insane. Absolutely. Yep. So it was a distraction, guys. He's just trying to sort of do anything. He's like creating a circus so that people won't look where they really should be looking. And of course, the press just follows them. Okay. Hi, Lottie. Good to see you. Okay. Um, Question is Trump mentally stable? No. Is his dementia progressing? There's a yes. All right. You heard it here. So say the dowsing rounds. Okay. Now I want to ask some questions about those jobs numbers. He just recently, when the correction of the jobs numbers, which everybody knew just didn't pass the sniff test, um, they the Bureau of Labor and Statistics released a correction, a very major correction, increasing the number of jobless folks in the country, in the U.S. And sorry if you're from outside the United States, but we've got a lot of news here, so we're going to focus on that. But if anybody has any questions for their own country, they can submit those in a moment. When I say 1, 2, 3, go. I'll have you guys post your questions. Okay, jobs numbers. So are these numbers going? And then he fired the head of the BLS, Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Okay, because she put out truthful numbers. Hi, Joyful. Good to see you. All right. Are these numbers going to continue? Are the job numbers going to continue to fall? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Will Congress demand accurate reporting? Ugh, that's no. They're so, they're just looking out for their own hides and not and protecting Trump rather than their constituents. Okay. So will these job numbers, if they get bad enough, backfire on the administration? Yes. Okay. Yes, they're wimps. Are we about to see a collision are we on a collision course with poor job numbers and tariffs that may result in a recession? Oh, boom. That's a yes. I could tell they were trying to say yes before I even schmumbled the question out of my mouth. Okay. Oh, Lordy. So, brace for impact is what we're saying. Um, Annie Bear says, I think they're using mafia tactics, which is why Congress isn't pushing back. I do too. I think they're threatening. They're threatening people's families. I think it's disgusting. Okay. Um, let me ask this question. Will the economic downturn occur before the end of the year? That's a yes. Liz says, I think we need that to happen for MAGA to leave him. And Gina says, can we change this timeline? Can we change this timeline? It's kind of a soft no. It's a no. I think we're barreling down that highway right now. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know, I would have said yes. It kind of surprised me. Yeah, I would have said yes. Okay. Do you have any more questions about this? You can pop them in there because I'm ready to move on. I'll take a little sip. Spindrift. Does anybody else drink Spindrift? So good. Very, very low calorie. It's seltzer with a little teeny splash of fruit juice. Okay. I see any more questions pop up. My next question is about Maxwell. And I think Annie Bear had one of those questions as well. So I think we had a similar question. Yeah, I think I have that question in my questioning. Okay. Oh yeah, Spindrift. It's only 13 calories for a can, and it's better than a lot of the seltzers that sometimes they just their flavor is a little harsh. I don't know. These have just a teeny hint of fruit juice. Okay. Um, Maxwell. So last week she was after the DOJ met with her. She got a sweetheart deal and was moved to a minimum security prison. We've probably all seen pictures of it online. It's a prison in something Texas, Byron, Texas, or something. I don't remember what it's called. Um, but it has like you can just drive right by, and it has like open bars, and it's if you really wanted to escape, you could do it pretty easily. It is really a prison that's designed for non-violent criminals, maybe like financial crimes or tax evasion, not for people who molest children or traffic children. Okay, so um, does Trump plan to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? Look at this. It's the wiggle waggle. It's like he wants to, but he's afraid to. Look at this. And they're coming together and then they move apart. Okay. Is Ghislaine safe in that new minimum security prison? Is she safe there? Nope. This is what I've suspected too, that they've moved her someplace where it's easier for her to for something to happen to her. Let's put it that way. Okay. Will other prisoners try to harm her? No. Okay. Is she safe in general? Is she safe in general? Not just in that prison, but if she were to get out, would she be safe? No. Okay. I think this was your question, Annie Bear. Are there people trying to unalive or suicide Maxwell? Are others trying to unalive Maxwell? Ooh, oh, yes. Look at that. That was a quick one. Liz says, I heard there have already been lockdowns because of her. Oh, she's not making friends there, is she? Okay. And on to the Epstein matter. Um, is the Epstein matter, the child trafficking issue, much bigger than meets the eye? Because I have a feeling it is. Is it much bigger than meets the eye? Yes. Will we be shocked by by the extent of it? Whoa. Okay. Whoa. It was a yes. I Repeat your question, Annie Bear. I'm not sure I understand. Oh, will they omit hours of her testimony? Will they omit hours of her testimony? Yes. Will they get away with it? No. But it took its time, so I feel like eventually they'll get caught. Okay, so I asked the question, is this bigger than meets the eye? And it was yes. And will we learn the extent of it? Ultimately, learn the extent of it? That's a yes. But okay, will we know by the end of this year? No. Will some of it leak out? Will some of it come out by the end of the year? The Epstein matter? Yes. Okay. Will this have worldwide impacts? Yes. So back to that last question I asked, will the files, or the maybe what they really mean is, will the list of customers, clients, in the black book come out this month? Oh, that's a yes. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I feel like it's partial though. I don't feel like it's full. Will she fall off the twig this year? Does that mean will she, whatever, fall out a window? Okay, will Maxwell be off the Earth plane by the end of this year? What? No. Let me ask that again. Will Maxwell die this year? What? Okay. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? She's in a minimum security prison. Okay. Whew. Okay, Annie Bear, will the girls now come forward en masse? Will all the girls who were abused come forward en masse? Yes. Look at that. I suspect that they're being gagged right now, or they're not allowed to come forward. All right. Any other questions about Ghislaine Maxwell? Oh wait, you said will she fake fall off the the twig? Will she fake croak? Okay. Hi, La Luna. Nice to see you. All right. And thanks for joining. Thank you so much if you're joining me for the first time or for the 100th time. I would so appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe and all the good things. And I am going to ask for more questions at the end. And at the end of each section that I'm asking about, I'll ask you to put your questions because I may not be able to see them otherwise. Oh, good question, Gina. Is Ghislaine Maxwell remorseful? Yeah, it says she is. I have a question about that too. Was somebody holding something over her head to get involved in the way that she was? Yes. Not saying I feel sorry for her. She did it, but I feel like she didn't do it of her own volition, right? Um, okay, will there be many politicians who rapidly disappear when the list is exposed? Oh, ooh, that one just wanted to cross right away. Good question, Lottie B. Will people protest if Trump lets Ghislaine Maxwell out? Big yes. It's like, what can we? There are so many things to protest about, though. Will the Epstein case Thank you, Liz. Will the Epstein case and recession make it so we win the midterms? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. I have another sort of tangential question about the whole Epstein stuff. Will Bondi step down? Will Bondi step down about over this? That was a yes. Will she be ultimately implicated in the cover up? That's funny. One crossed and one didn't. I feel like that's saying yes and no. Okay. Um, will she face um, will she face arrest, indictment for her involvement in covering this up? That is a yes. Whoa, that is a yes. Okay. All right. Here's a good question, if I do say so myself. And I don't know if anybody heard, but Dan Bongino, who works, he's like second in command to that slimy, they're all slimy, Cash Patel at FBI. He made a statement that said, what he read shocked me to my core. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. What? And I think I think he's seen some things. So anyway, so will Dan Bongino step down? That was kind of like I don't know if you can see the end. Sorry, I should move back. That's kind of a wimpy yes, but like it'll take a while. Do you see it was just crossing to like here? Maybe that's a maybe. Will he spill the beans on what he's seen? Will he ultimately spill the beans on what he's seen? Yes. I think he's going to go to back to his podcaster days. Annie, I think this goes back to my question about is the Epstein case much bigger than any of us ever dreamed? Okay. Gina, good idea. All right, you guys intuit what he learned. That's right. Then you're going to have to wash your eyes out with soap. All right. Okay, I got some more questions, but I'm going to keep on this line of questioning real quick. Um, yes, Annie Bear, it's worldwide. I think it's not only okay. I will tell you what I think because of some other things that I've heard, and I'm starting to put two and two together. um, La Luna, I don't think it's just seeing just the Dems. I think it's some really, really sick stuff, like kids much younger than teenage girls. I've heard multiple stories about almost like ritualistic abuse of children in, almost like in Masonic type rituals and things like that. Rape of children, I'll say it. And that's what I'm getting. So I will ask that question though. It's really disgusting, and I do think it's worldwide. I think it's some kind of like weird. Lily Rose wants to know if the Orange Man was involved in any of that. Let me just ask if there's any validity to what I believe about this ritualistic abuse of children in the world. Yes, it's disgusting. Wow. It was almost like my dowsing rods felt dirty saying, like responding to that. Do we think that Donald Trump was involved in any of that? Do you see how it wiggles and waggles? I don't think he was involved in I think he was involved with a lot of those people. Like, intuitively, I don't think that he actually was involved in, like, young children, like 3-year-olds, and that's what I've been hearing, 3-year-olds. And in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I've heard these little stories bubbling up. I've seen a couple on YouTube or on a podcast. I'm reading a book right now that speaks about this ring that was all in the northeast of the US, but I think it's worldwide. Um, yeah. Is it a cult? Asks Liz. Okay. Is it a cult? It's kind of a almost. You just see, it's not really saying that it's a cult. Is it more of a ritualistic club for elites? Yes. And here's what I'm getting on it too. I'm getting that it's like the Epstein stuff. You know, the way he recorded everything. The same with P Diddy. I think that the reason that they recorded, I mean, they did with well recorded everything was for compromise. Okay, so I think that that's the same with this whoever this the you know for entertainment purposes only, and it feels disgusting to even say it. Yes, Liz says I think I've heard of it before. Yeah, but I feel like it was in order to gain the upper hand over other people so that they had them in the palm of their hand. Yes, praying for all these poor children. Many of them are adults now, Dina. It's been going on a long time. It's disgusting. Yes, Amanda, you are correct. Bunch of sick FU blank blanks. Okay. All right, let's all take a virtual shower, saging, spray. Oh, I have some good spray. Some sage spray. Bargaining chips. Yes, it is international, Amanda. That's what I've heard. That's why I think that. So, so let's go back to Bongino's comments. Shocked me to my core. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. Okay. I mean, what could shock a grown man more than 3-year-old children being used for ritual, disgusting ritual things? All right. Thank you for lighting those candles, guys. All right. Phew. All right. I'm sorry to, I hope I didn't spoil anybody's lunch. Okay. Um, we're going to move on to nuclear subs near Russia, if anybody has any questions there. Will we go to oh, so I don't know if you knew this, but Donald Trump has been having a war of words with, I think, Medvedev, who's in the Russian, administration with Putin, and Medvedev made some comment. Oh, well, Russia, excuse me, Trump turned 2 nuclear submarines, um, so that they're kind of off the coast of Russia. All right. And so Medvedev says something like, I wouldn't do that if I were him because we have videos too, whatever that means. Okay. Okay. Florida water. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. So nuclear subs. Will we go to war with Russia? No. Will Russia retaliate? I'm getting kind of like a sorta. See this? I feel like they might move their armies or their submarines into position, like a little standoff. Is there another reason that Donald Trump has moved? A reason that is not apparent that Trump has moved the submarines there? Is there another reason he's moved the subs there That's a yes. Okay. Annie Bear says, will Russia release the dirt on 45? Will Russia release the dirt on 45? It's a tiny cross. It's kind of like a, yeah, some dirt maybe. Um, okay. All right. Now I want to go on to, has anybody seen that? Um, it's a Substack letter that they posted. A group or a person called, the Substack is called This Will Stand. So I would highly recommend you check it out because they've been releasing some very compelling stories on the election tampering and proof and all the other things. And the latest one that came out was a letter from a former CIA agent who wrote a letter to, I guess, to This Will Stand, saying that he's willing, and I guess he wrote it to Congress, saying he's willing to testify because he was part of a task force that was asked to review the 2024 election, and they found widespread fraud and um, and tampering. And so, and he claims that Kamala won by a long shot, Kamala and Wells. So he says it wasn't even close. And what's even weirder is that their report was buried by not just Republicans, but also some Democrats. So, what does that say to you guys? What in the world? I think we're just going to have our faces blown off with some odd news. Yeah, some of the reporting I saw, Liz says that it's the Masons, the Masonic groups. Yeah. All right. So, um, I'm going to ask this question. Is this ex-CIA agent, his name is posted there. Um, Maybe I'll try to post it on my page, on my post page. Is this ex-CIA agent telling the truth? Yes. Will this news make it into the mainstream media? Look at this. It's kind of like, eventually, probably not as soon as we would like. If so, I'll ask this question. Will it come out in the month of August? No. Will it come out in September? Yes. Oh, you're right, La Luna. It's called This Will Hold. I said that wrong. Yeah, it's called This Will Hold. And I think it's an individual who just, that's the name of his Substack. So if you're not aware, a lot of main or kind of alternative news sources have turned to Substack because they can write lengthy essays and reports on things that they're learning. Some of them release videos as well. So Substack, if you're not a member, I would join it if you want to really kind of, because this is this type of stuff that's not going to come out in the Washington Post or the LA Times or anything like that. It's just not, or they're not doing it right now. Okay. Yes, Annie Bear says Kamala said the system is broken. I think they have the proof that tampering was going way back to 2016 at least. Yes, and 8/8 is tomorrow night. I'm going to star that. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so let me go back. Is he telling the truth? We got a yes. Is it going to, will it come out? We got the answer. It will. Let's ask it again. Will this news come out in September? Yes. Hi, Craig. Hi, Viviani. Good to see you guys. All right. Did Kamala know? I'm going to say, does Kamala know? Does Kamala know about the election tampering? That's a yes. Did she know at the time? It's like close. It was. I bet they had some intel that things were happening, but look how it's. I don't think they knew the extent of it. I think they know a lot more now. Okay. Will the military, once this comes out, assuming it comes out, will the military step up to take this regime out? Oh, that was a okay. I love it when I get surprised because I just really wasn't sure. I wasn't sure they would go there. So I feel like there is kind of like a covert military force that's not following Hegseth's orders. Um, will will Vance be asked to step up at the time? Oh God, no. Will Vance be in office for long? Nope. No, he will not. It doesn't make sense because it seems like Vance should be implicated as well. Will we have an alternative executive branch for a short time after this is revealed? Yes. So meaning we might have, I don't know, who step in. Maybe I hope not the Speaker of the House. No, no. I hope the Speaker is Hakeem Jeffries. Excuse me. Will Vance ultimately go down for this too? Whoa, that was a big ol' yes. Okay. Will Elon spill the beans about how the tampering happened? Will Elon? That's a yes. Will Elon leave the country after he shares what he knows? That's a yes. Okay. Um, I'm starring a few questions that I see. I will ask about Johnson. Okay. Ugh, I don't even want to do it. Did Biden have a plan in place? Okay, so did Biden know about this? Yes. According to the CIA officer, he says that it was not done, and they were not asked to bury that report by Biden, Harris, Walls, any of those types. I think she knew she won though. Yeah, Amanda says, I've been feeling it for a while that the military will turn against his current regime. I think so. Yeah. All right. La Luna asks, uh, will Johnson be president for a short time? It's giving us a wimpy no. It's as if they have to weigh the odds, because I think so many Republicans are going to be implicated too. Maybe let's ask. Was John? Well, you know what? I'm going to say a definitive yes that Johnson knew, because do you guys remember a couple weeks before the election when Trump turned to Johnson on the campaign trail and he said, um, Mike, we have a little secret, don't we? Yeah, we're going to win this. We have a little secret. Remember? He knew. I'm going to ask the question. Did Mike Johnson know about the election tampering? Yep. Right there. Okay. Annie Bear says, I think Biden, Harris, Jack Smith knew what might happen and put silent guardrails in place. Yeah, that's exactly what I think might have happened in terms of like the military. I do think we have like one. If you want to talk about deep state, I mean, there you go. But I feel like they're the kind of the good guys. Okay. An astrologer on Linda G's platform said Gavin Newsom would be president. I'm going to star that. Okay, I'll get to that. Yes, he's a weasel. He is a weasel. Okay. I and I'm sorry, but I can't help but to feel that Mike um, Johnson might be involved in some of these sex rings with children. Sorry, I know. I know you're gonna have to wash out your ears now. Okay. All right. Um, will Trump be placed under arrest if election fraud is proven? Looky there, guys. For entertainment purposes only. Um, there we go. All right. Any other questions about that? Because I want to move on to that weird meeting that Vance called, a little dinner meeting at Blair House, at the vice president's house. Oh yeah, I have that. I have that starred. Annie Bear points out that they tried to omit parts of the Constitution, habeas corpus, and something else. For entertainment purposes only. I should make a banner for that. Okay, so let's ask about, if no more questions, let's ask about Vance's meeting at the VP house yesterday. He called a meeting, apparently without Trump, with Bondi, Kash Patel, and some of the other higher up officials in the DNI and other things, I believe. So, sorry, I don't have all the names. So, very interesting. And I want to say, was the dinner meeting meant to discuss the Epstein matter? Yep. Because Vance denied it. But he was standing right next to Trump when they asked. You're not getting notifications, Nivra? I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe. That happens to me a lot too with other people that I'm subscribed to. Okay. Was I want to ask, was Trump aware of the meeting before it was leaked to the public? Look at that. It started to come together and then it went out. He was not aware of the meeting. Where oh, whoa. So Annie Bear asked, was it pushed to another time? Was the meeting pushed to another time? Are you talking about push notifications? Oh gosh. But the meeting was pushed to another time. Okay. So they're gonna do it. They're just gonna have to be a little more covert about it. My question is, I wonder if they were meeting to discuss maybe the 25th Amendment. Yep. Hi, La Luna. Jinx. Great minds think alike. Were they meeting to discuss the 25th Amendment? Did they see this as their opportunity to move Vance in? Do they see this as their opportunity to move Vance in? Yes. Yeah, I'll ask that right now because we already passed that. So Craig asks, is the Trump regime deleting evidence about Epstein? Are they deleting evidence about Epstein? Oh, yeah. Well, it's a small yes. Are they deleting Donald Trump's name from the debt evidence? Yep. It's gross. It's disgusting. Problem is there are too many people who have seen this. All the lawyers through the years have seen it. All of the actual victims, other witnesses. I just think it's too much. Okay. Whew. Oh my goodness. It's I just wanna take a shower every time I read the paper. Okay, um, let's go back to this really quickly. So this is my last line of questioning. Um, I was gonna ask about Gaza, but, we can ask some other questions, and we can talk about Lionsgate a little bit too, alright? Because I feel like this is really, really big, really big. If you saw the astrology that I posted on, uh, Monday, really big. Okay. So Gaza and supplies. So will aid be allowed in now more freely to address the starvation? I don't like that. Look at this. Does that mean sorta kinda? They're confirming that means sorta kinda. Maybe ish. Will we see more civilians die of starvation or thirst? Sadly, that's a yes. So many prayers, please. Is Israel behind the blockage of aid? There's a yes. Is Hamas also behind the blockage of aid? Yes. Is this to score political points? Yes. Damn it. I hate this. I hate it. Yeah, we just have to send prayers. Uh, Lynn says Netanyahu announced that he's going to occupy Gaza and deliver aid. What? Yeah, see, they're just posing and posturing. Yes, Nivra, serious karma. Hmm. It's horrible. Yeah. Thank you, La Luna. This is too good. I really hate this. So anyway, if anybody else has, I do have some starred questions, but please post your questions now if you have them. Our first one here, we may have already answered. Okay. We already talked a little bit about this, but um, did they think they could omit parts of the Constitution and no one see it? Did they think, God, they're so stupid. Do they think we're that dumb? Um, all right. Are they going to replace the two things that they removed? Yes. Okay. Um, Annie Bear got a few questions in. Um, you're saying remember squirrels and baby goats playing. Did you ever see I did a video about baby goats. I'm obsessed with baby goats, and I'll tell a story about that soon. Okay. Will we have another pandemic? I hope enough of Trump's base has fallen out of their coma now. Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask that question. Will we have another pandemic, let's say in the next year? Will there be another pandemic in the next year? Thankfully, no. Will there be some other bad viruses coming on the scene? Yeah, there will be some other viruses, but I don't feel like it's anything unusual. Like there kind of always are. Okay. Interesting question, Liz Reeves. Is Trump sending a message when he wears a pink tie? And I'm sorry, I have to take the question down. And I'm just going to read it because it's a little, um, it Oh, wait a minute. I didn't block it. Oh no. Oh well, I'll just do it up here. Is Trump sending a message when he wears a pink tie? It's not giving me an answer. It's kind of like a kinda. It like goes to cross and then it uncrosses. So it's like a sort of. I don't know what the what that would mean. So yes, we'll do goat yoga, Liz. I'm terrible at yoga. Uh, yes, thank you, Niber. I'm not doing personal questions, but I will take that question. Okay. Maybe his dresser does. That's a good point, says Annie Bear. Did you see the other day that he and Netanyahu were there wearing, um, they were wearing their like identical, blue suit, red tie together, like the like twins. Okay. Will Stephen Miller's evil plans be thwarted? Oh gosh. We didn't even talk about that today, did we? Ice. Will Stephen Miller's evil plans be thwarted? Sorry. Yes. Wiggle waggle, yes. That means eventually. Okay. All right. Um, somebody already asked. We already went into when will Trump pardon Maxwell when he leaves office? I honestly don't know if he's going to leave office uh, and have the ability to do that. I think he'll be removed. Is his base so weak that 45 is done? Is Donald Trump's base weakened? I'm sorry. This one didn't it wouldn't even go straight. It was like, no, it's not weakened enough yet. Okay. Will it ultimately weaken? Yes. I don't know. How long? Okay. If Zelensky goes to this meeting, will he be in physical danger? I'm hearing yes. I think he's always in physical danger. Good question, Lily Rose. If Zelensky goes to this meeting, will he be in physical danger? It's a yes. It's a soft yes. I think he's got the security forces in place. Okay. Namira, got your question. Lily Rose, you had another question about Epstein. Okay. We asked about the pandemic. And okay. I think we're all caught up with the questions that I started. Okay. Will Namira asks, will the Netherlands restrict Israel more than they already decided last week? Not to allow some from the government. Will the Netherlands not allow some from the government? Okay. So wait a minute. Will the Netherlands restrict Israel more than they already decided last week? Will they restrict them even more? Looks like a no. No. Okay. Namira, are you in the Netherlands? Okay. Thank you. And good question. I like this question. Lily Rose. Is Pootie on Epstein's list? Is Pootie on the Epstein list? Ooh, hey. Look at that. That was pretty definitive. I don't understand these people either. I just don't understand. I was talking with my husband yesterday about, there was he had somebody do him wrong in his business a couple years ago, um, and it was a pretty big deal, pretty big theft and embezzlement, basically. And this man just up and left and went to the next company and did the same thing because we got a call from these people 2 days ago that he's in another state doing the same thing. The police won't do anything about it because they're like, you have to catch him literally in the act, even if the next company found him with his pants pockets full of these expensive supplies and called the police, and they're like, oh, well, he lied and said, oh, I was just borrowing them. And they said, oh, sorry, there's nothing we can do. So my point is, I just think these criminals can't help themselves. He made a really good salary, but he can't help himself. It's like a compulsion. So I don't know. I'm going to ask this question too, Lily Rose. Is I love how you spell that, Mr. Netanyahu on Epstein's list? Is Netanyahu on Epstein's list? Woo-hoo-hoo. Remember what Epstein's list was about. Epstein's list wasn't just because there were a bunch of perverted men. This was compromat. This was getting people in compromising positions so that they could extort them. So, yes, I think a lot of world leaders are there. Will the UK Prime Minister be forced out by scandal? Okay. Will the UK Prime Minister be forced out by scandal? It's kind of a squishy no. You see, they're getting bobbly. They're getting wobbly. Okay. I guess that's a no. But it's what I feel like is, aren't there always scandals, right? Yeah. You are in the Netherlands. Thank you, Namira. I visited there years ago. You are in the Netherlands and following the lawsuit against Israel with the ICG in The Hague. Oh, yes. Should we ask that question? Will Netanyahu be arrested by The Hague? Oh, what? Look at that. Good question. Yeah, because of was it for crimes against humanity or something like that? Okay. Okay. Is Musk on the list? Is Elon? I almost said Donald Musk. Is Elon Musk on the Epstein list? There it is. Yes. Neither is Trump being investigated by The Hague, and will it matter? Is Trump being investigated by The Hague? Yes. And I do think that Jack Smith went back with box loads of evidence of his world crimes. But, again, for entertainment purposes only. La Luna, good question. Will Jack Smith come back to the U.S. after Trump is removed to prosecute the bad guys? I'm going to ask another question first because I think I heard that Trump is targeting Jack Smith. So will Trump ultimately be able to indict Jack Smith? No, but he will try. Yes, Annie Bear, I agree. Not everyone on the list will have been an offender. I think there are people who flew on the plane and who they wined and dined, but didn't necessarily partake. I don't know. Okay. All right. Um, Namira says yes, he cannot visit here because of the genocide against Gaza lawsuit. Well, good for the Netherlands. Yes, somebody has some cojones. All right, guys, I feel like I'm out of questions. We've been here together for an hour in the middle of the day. I thank you so much for visiting and joining this afternoon. I'm glad that I was able to do this because, and I feel like we're just going to have more and more and more and more questions. I just wanted to say really quickly about the astrology coming up. And I want, if you haven't seen my tarot scopes that came out on Monday, please go back and review that, even just the beginning part of it, because we talk about the Lion's Gate. Wish I had this um, on my phone so I can hold it up. But right now and through the weekend with this Lionsgate, what is Lionsgate? 8-8. It's a portal in the sign of Leo, the lion. Okay, and they say it's when the veil is thinnest. And I don't know about anybody else. I have had a heck of a time sleeping this week, which is really weird. I don't normally have that bad of a time sleeping. I feel like it has to do with this astrology. And if you look at the astrology for the time we're in right now, we have all of the outer planets. I think there are like 8 planets all, or maybe 7 planets all talking to each other in communication with each other. And they're forming, not only are they forming a grand trine, which is basically um, a perfect triangle, and then and those are harmonious, right? But we also have um, we also have some sextiles, which are also kind of mini harmony, and then we have a very big, strong um, Mars opposing Neptune and Saturn right now. Okay, right down the middle of it. So it forms the shape of a kite, like a traditional kite, with kind of a shorter, a a blunt end and a pointy end. Um, Forms the shape of a kite. Now that opposition between Mars, Saturn, and Neptune is a crunchy one. It could be aggression, could be some really, some difficulties. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. Yes, something is coming. That's what I feel too. Annie Bear says she's been awake since 3:42. That's about when I've been waking up, or almost 4 in the morning or before, and just nothing's wrong. I just cannot get back to sleep, and it's been really, really weird. Um, so lots of that. Liz says she's having a lot of anxiety. But this is a portal, guys. This is just one of the leaps forward that we're taking. We're purging, we're revealing. Um, Last thing I want to share with you, yes, a lot is going on at once. Tired today. Yep, me too. All right. So the last thing I want to share with you is this. I am going to be on with Kim. I told everybody before I was going to be on with Intuitive View, Kim, Carrie, but then it was on her private, her members group. It was about a week and a half ago. She's asked me to come on Sunday. Let's chat on Sunday, and so that's this Sunday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So what is that? 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm just so excited to see everybody there. So I hope you can make it. It'll be really fun, and we're gonna chat and talk about spirituality and do some readings. So I'm really excited about that, and I hope everybody can join. So it is a live chat. So anyway, I am going to get ready to go because I might be running. I'm waiting to hear from Allie, who's in town, and she's driving through town. So I might have a really quick rendezvous with her, say hello, and we'll say our hellos and our goodbyes. But Thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful time. Think of those questions for the next time because I feel like we just have so many more that are going to be coming up. So great. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.